everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. My name is Amanda.
I'm Shani.
I'm Kenise.
So, to begin the month of April, April is Wellness Month for us. And to kick off our wellness series, we will be diving into the mind today. So, we will be exploring how to train your mind because everything else manifests from the mind.
Now that we're in spring, what's this whole phrase that says, April showers brings May flowers? So you feel like just in this series that we're going to help everyone blossom into their new self, new year, new you. Like we talked about rebranding a couple episodes ago, right?
Yeah.
So, and you're starting with the mind, which I'm really excited about.
It's a very interesting topic.
Yeah. So for our viewers, for the month of April, we are going to be doing wellness episodes. So stay tuned. We'll be unraveling them each week. But this week, like Amanda and Kenise said, we're going to be focused on the mind.
And training our mind.
Training our mind.
Why is that?
But why is that? Kenise, you said something really interesting. You said that, it starts with the mind. Why is it so important? And I guess, why did we decide to start our first wellness series with this topic?
Well, I think for me, the mind is where everything flows from. So my thoughts determine the world that I'm going to create and live and speak and work in. So overall, a lot of the things that manifests for me and physically starts in the mind at first. So it helps to set the tone for what I'm going to do. So if I, for instance, I know we're not talking about fitness today, we're going to talk about physical wellness later in this month, but we're talking about, I have to make up my mind to get up at 6 a.m. to go to kickboxing at 7 o'clock in the morning when it's snowing. And I had to do that because every Wednesday I go, my first kickboxing class for the week and it's intense. And sometimes you just want to snuggle in bed, and I just have to make up my mind. So my body would not follow if my mind is not made up, because my body is not getting out of bed. That's what I meant.
But I agree with you. I agree. A lot of things that I think we all want to do. Sometimes we talk about doing stuff, but the distraction around us with the world, because there's so many things. Our phone's distracting. We have a million things we're trying to juggle. And I feel like there's too much of that. And in order to get the things we actually want to do, we need to focus. And focusing is your mind. You need to train your mind to, if you want to achieve these things in life, you have to put forth the effort to do so. But it starts here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna admit this. I'm not the best at upkeeping with, training my mind. I'm just curious, what are some things that you guys personally are able to incorporate into your routines that help you maintain, a really healthy mental headspace?
I think for me, it's feeding my mind. So what I feed my mind is very important. So what I focus on, I feel like our mind is here, right? It's somewhere there inside this, hair somewhere. And a lot of things feed through it. So your ears, I think, feed through into your mind. What you listen to feeds the mind. What you take in through your eyes feed the mind as well. So for me, I like to, every day, I do start off my day in prayer. So I feel like it's grounding for me because I'm able to do affirmations and speak over my day and speak over and declare and affirm things like today. I am not an overachiever, but I am successful. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am vibrant. I am energetic. I am prosperous. I am wealthy. I'm a good mom. I'm a good friend. People depend on me. All of those things that I want to be an exhibit. I start that out every morning. I actually pray. I read my Bible. So that's for me. That's how I start every single day, Monday through Sunday. And that's a practice for probably the past 5 years. I really went in deeper into doing that when COVID hit.
And do you see a big difference in yourself, compared to 5 years ago before you started really kind of digging in deep into those practices?
Yeah, I went through a horrible, horrible divorce, and part of it was kind of like trying to rebuild myself. And I was just threw myself into raising my daughter. And it's hard, when you're a single parent. One day you're married and one day you're a single parent, and you're like, what do I do here? That's a lot. So you're juggling career, you're juggling family, you're juggling a child that's 2 years old, and you're like, what am I supposed to be doing here? What's going to happen? So my future was really, it was really up in the air for me. And I really struggled kind of like with because of a lot of negative things that were spoken to me by my ex at that time. And so I had to come to a place where either I was going to accept it mentally, right? Because it was definitely affecting how I was thinking about myself and my future. So I had to make up my mind to change my mentality and it got better because I wasn't like disciplined. So for me, it is very disciplined, my lifestyle, in regards to setting my mind in order. So I've seen how it's helped me, Shani, in regards to becoming stronger internally. I don't suffer from depression. I literally, I remember feeling that I was getting depressed. When you're sitting and you're just staring at a TV screen after like a marriage is over. And I don't remember, like, it was like 3 years, like literally about 3 years. I don't remember going to work. I don't remember what I was doing. If it was like 3 years of my life was just a blur. And I felt myself going into depression, but I remember like pulling myself out in my mind. I would say, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to allow somebody to take me through this or control me in that way. So I needed to take control of my own mindset. And over the years, I've gradually created it and began a disciplined lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely vital. You said a key word, I think, that a lot of people who are maybe looking into, practicing better techniques when it comes to training their mind is discipline. I think that is the key thing, and consistency,
Yeah.
For sure.
being disciplined and consistent. So I will use myself as an example. I already
Yes, go
aired
ahead. Tell us
myself
everything,
out.
Shani.
I aired myself out. Why not just air out some more things? But every time I do make up my mind to, okay, let me practice whatever technique I saw somewhere to train my mind, I'll do it and then I'll stop because life gets so busy. It gets really busy. And I know a lot of people out there, and you ladies as well, can probably relate. Like our day-to-day life, work, personal commitments, everything in between, maintaining relationships, maintaining everything that you need to maintain, it
Juggle.
makes it really hard, right? And I feel like most days, all days, I'm on the go. So, how does someone really get disciplined in being consistent and disciplined? Someone like myself, for example. How do you get to that place?
So I think because I still struggle with this. Like my practice is similar to Kinesis is what I want to aspire to be in this to work up to such like a more compact morning routine with the devotionals. Mine is literally like 15 minutes. But there are days where I don't get to do it. So I think a place to start is to be realistic, right? Because we don't have that much time. So
Right.
it's to find that one little thing that would make you feel better. And I found like a moment of grounding myself, just being like in prayer, it really sets the intention for the day. And those days that I don't do it, I promise you the day is just always like crazier. So I that's why I kind of start off like that. So but I do think starting off small and like something achievable, whether it's just this be in front of the mirror and say like 5 affirmations, like you got it, you're the best, you're beautiful. So just finding what works for you and just committing a small amount of time, because if you don't give yourself 5 minutes, who will?
Right, right, right. And I
Yeah,
think
I
it
think
comes with like self-love. I think we talked about this in like our
right.
Yes.
past episodes.
Exactly.
You have to love
Exactly.
yourself more than, the hardships, the challenges, the obstacles that you're going through. And you have to train yourself to believe that. It's hard in the beginning, right? When you're in the thick of everything on fire. But yeah, I think that's a really great tip, Amanda. I think starting off small you know, if it's not 15 minutes, maybe it's 5 minutes
Yeah.
of doing something. I know I was practicing doing gratitudes, you know, first thing in the morning and last thing in the night before I went to sleep. It's just waking up, not immediately going to my phone, right? Only to
Mhm.
just turn off the alarm maybe, but not like opening it up, not looking at any messages, not hopping on social media, just really just waking up. First thing I did was just practice gratitude. What am I grateful for? You know, what am I thankful for? And then doing the same thing before I went to sleep. So, Amanda, I
How
will
long
be
did that
taking your
how
advice.
how long did that last? And why do you think you stopped?
I would say around 2 weeks. So, you know, it was 2 weeks. And then I stopped because I would have really long days. So, like, I would like sometimes forget, like, you know, you just pass out on your bed and
Yeah.
it sounds so bad. You wake up in the morning and you oversleep and you're like, oh no, I gotta get up and I gotta get ready for work. But I think being disciplined, right, and prioritizing, you know, these really important practices is what makes a difference, right? Even if it's maybe, let's say I did wake up, you know, a little later one morning, instead of just doing away with the whole gratitude, you know, technique, I maybe I can do it in the car on the way to work, right? You know,
Mhm.
turn off the radio, do it really quickly, you know. So yeah, I think these are really helpful tips.
I used to do that. So before I started doing it at home, like my first attempt to introduce, like I want God to be the first thing I praise in the morning. It wasn't like literally as soon as I got up. I used to do it on my way to work. So I used to have a longer commute. So like my that 20-30 minutes, I would either listen to Joel Osteen or I'll listen to something that's like, related. And that was like a way of killing two birds with one stone, kind of like I'm driving to work, but I'm
Mm.
getting that worship in, or just putting on like I'm the kind of person like if I love a song, I listen to the same song like 10 times. So if I'll always put on my like favorite worship song and just keep replay, and I am having the best time in the car. I'm pretty sure I look crazy to the person driving next to me because I'm like, yes, yes, I feel it. Yes, I see the other car. But like that, like those are the little things, and that one I still do. Like if there's a song that I just want to like worship to in the morning, maybe that 5 minutes because my commute's shorter now to work most days, then I that's what I do. I think I think we put too much pressure on ourselves to find that we want to do. I would love to be the girl that has the morning routine, the night routine. For the love of God, he knows I try, but it's just very hard to achieve that kind of robust
Mhm.
routine. But I think we can just be graceful with ourselves and start small.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's important. Being graceful, right? It's okay.
It's okay.
You know, it's okay if you miss
Mhm.
a beat, but you know, definitely stay on the path to becoming more disciplined and incorporating that. And I think Amanda, you said something really great where it's just like you can try different things to see what fits with what works for you. So like for example, I tried journaling. I'm not a journaler. I don't wanna I already lived the day and then I gotta write it down on paper. Like I'm not trying to relive this day on paper. But some people find it really helpful. Do you guys
Yes,
journal? Do you guys find that helpful?
yes. I love to journal.
So writing about my whole day, like I'm with you, Shawnee. Like you're
Who
right. I
wants to relive
survived.
it?
I
Let's move on.
survived. I'm not writing it down, but I will say to journaling, I think sometimes we need clarity in life, and I feel like that's a time that I would practice journaling. But finding what works for you. But sitting down and reliving the day, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. I tried journaling. It wasn't for me.
Well,
But
I
that's
think that's more
okay.
like doing a diary. I think journaling is really just not like, when I was younger, I still have my diaries from when
Oh,
I was like 9. Some of them I have hidden because it has the crushes, because I used to write
oh,
everything down. Like if I went and I saw a cute guy on this, like we would go to like different church services and there's a cute guy there, like I would write like what I was wearing and what he was wearing.
Oh
Some of
my
the stuff
goodness.
I'm like, if I ever, like, God help me if my daughter ever finds these journals, I didn't want to throw them away because it's so cute to read them. It's so cute. But I kept like a diary, like the ones with the keys and everything, all of the
Oh
those
for
wow.
those.
for years. So I have about 17 or 18 diaries. all the way from middle school, high school, and part of college. And then even when I met my ex and we were dating and stuff, I wrote everything down. Flowers, like like his first flower he gave to me, it's pressed in the journal.
my
Like I
God.
took it and I pressed the
Wow.
pages together and it's still there. I don't even know why I'm keeping it. So I think journaling is more so kind of just writing my thoughts for the
Mm.
day. Like you said, like you can mix it with your gratification. So like what I did was I went on Canva, and I do everything not on like paper and pen anymore. I do everything on my iPad. So I use GoodNotes, the app GoodNotes. So I created something that I wanted to like talk about like every day. So and then I uploaded it into my GoodNotes. So you take the Canva template and you upload it. So for instance, so every day I have like I write every day and I can't remember, but it has like I have a little box on the top. It says verse. So I would take like, you know, if I'm reading the Bible, like what key verse, like if I read a chapter, like what stood out to me, I would write the verse, and then I write important words that stood out to me based on that verse. And I have applying the word. And then I have today, did the Lord answer any prayers? You know, so I'm like, you know, healing for my mom that I'm praying for, you know, anything that I'm like believing
Mhm.
God for, and then what I'm grateful for. And then I write like, who am I praying for today? Because I believe in like praying for others as well. And it's so funny because your names are actually here. I have Shani,
Aw.
I have Amanda on here.
We
So
made the
you guys
list.
are listed here, like literally, like you can't see it because I have my obviously. And then I have like a little box in the bottom. So to make it really pretty with flowers and all of that jazz, it's my own personal customization. So like I know what I want to write. And then the bottom I have like a little prayer, and I was just like write like a prayer or something. So that's what I do. That's what I do every night. But I want to say also, Shani, to help us keep accountable, starting out small is really great, but also having accountability partners. Because it's 6 o'clock in the morning when I get up, I have about like 15 other people that have done that with me since COVID. So we're on Zoom. So there's 15 of us, 16 of us. All we have people from Nigeria. I have Texas, Canada, Florida, New York, New Jersey, Minnesota, North Dakota, like there's just like all over the place. And literally, we've been in this accountability partnership since COVID. We used to do it every Monday. And then after COVID hit and everybody like had no friends or anything, we couldn't go anywhere. We're like, let's do it every day at 6 o'clock. And we do it every day, Monday through Friday. And then recently, last year, actually March, I think this month is, I'm sorry, not this one, last month is a year that I do a 10 o'clock prayer, and there's about 10 of us on there. So that's every single day. We started with 30 days, then we went to 90 days, then we did 100 days, and now we're at 180 days, where every night at 10 o'clock, we did it. So we started it in like October. So we're going to finish at the end of April. So we started in October, November 1st. So we went through Christmas night, New Year's Eve, we're on
Wow.
vacation, if I traveled anywhere, like, so it's great accountability partners because you don't want to miss it. Like you don't, and then we all journal our own stuff. We share whatever we want to share or not, but we all are doing it because we all want to grow mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And we're holding each other accountable to it as well. So you do not want to show up. Even though you may be really tired one night at 10 o'clock, you turn it on and you're like so overwhelmed because somebody else says something. You're like, oh my gosh, that is so great. And it just energizes you. So for me, it's also getting accountability, like doing it with somebody else helps.
How
Yeah.
long do you guys stay online for? I'm just
Well,
curious.
it's
'Cause
1
o'clock in the
hour,
morning.
1 hour. So the code is that for this, the 10 o'clock was that if you did not show up, we would start back from the beginning. So it was a solid partnership. So
Whoa,
that
that
means you
really
have
is
to,
accountability.
Wow.
right. So all the times that we have done it, so if you didn't show up, if you showed up a little late, like people would chat because we have a WhatsApp chat, of course, and we would like chat in the WhatsApp, like, hey, like somebody's running late or their Wi-Fi. We have somebody in St. Martin who's on, and sometimes there's blackouts or whatever. So she's like, my Wi-Fi is off, but at least we communicate. I've been on the plane on it. I am like,
Whoa.
we've switched times around as well. Like if I'm in Vegas, it's 10 o'clock in New York. I've done it 3 o'clock in the morning there. just to accommodate the time. So it's been intense, but it is beyond fulfilling.
Yeah. I think it's the same mindset, like, like you said, no matter if you're tired, you push through because it's a commitment that you made not only to yourself, but you made it to other people. So you
Exactly.
can't let yourself down. And you can't, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like, okay, if I let myself down, fine, but I can't stand the feeling of
Right.
letting other people
I
down.
know.
Agreed.
I
Agreed.
won't be able to sleep.
Yes, exactly.
So
But
yeah.
that's what I think is important, though, Shawnee, what you just said. That's when you're putting other people in front of you, though. You should really also be very concerned about not letting Shawnee down.
Yeah,
Shawnee comes first, and you
absolutely.
can't, I feel like sometimes we wait until it gets really hard in our life. Then we're like, okay, well, now I want to meditate, or now I want to journal,
Mhm.
or now I want to, write gratitude. But if you keep that consistent lifestyle, when life throws you a curveball, you're stronger and you're able to like deal with it better because
Yeah.
you're grounded.
I agree. I think now is a perfect time for us to talk about our challenge. And I think Shawnee and I can be
What challenge? What are you talking about?
our challenge, because
What
well,
challenge?
we're not on your level, right? But I think our viewers and listeners, and some of us, because we want to start practicing some of these things like journaling,
Mhm.
we can talk about the journaling challenge we wanted to share with our viewers.
Yeah, so I guess in lieu of this episode and its theme, we want to challenge you guys. We want to challenge ourselves too. So we're going to be participating in these challenges. You guys will be getting challenges from us weekly based on the episodes that we are pushing out. But this week again, we're going to focus on mind wellness, mind training challenges. So Amanda mentioned the first one up is journaling. So for the next 7 days, we want our viewers to grab a notebook, grab a notepad, grab a little post-it, grab an iPad like Kenise, and start journaling. Kenise gave us some great advice.
Yes.
It's not a diary, guys. We're not talking about our days. We're not reliving our days. Although that's going to be, if you want to do that, go
Mhm.
ahead and do that if it feel like it's important. But really, take the time and put your thoughts onto the paper. Write it down.
Mhm.
Get it out there. Get it out of your mind onto the piece of paper.
And there's no
So
like
you want
limit.
us for so you want us for the next 30 days to journal every single day.
Well, I had said 7. You raised the stakes to 30.
Wait. Which one is it, guys?
We could do 30. I feel like 30 days is a good,
I
it's
thought we were going to do it from week to week in this month of April. So this is the first like week in April.
but
Oh,
if we are doing weekly challenges, then
we keep adding on more
Right,
things.
we'll keep adding. Wait till
That's
we get to the
smart.
physical one, Shawnee. I got you for that one. You gotta do
She's
it.
gonna
guys,
make us walk
you'll
like
notice
You
10,000
me
gotta do
steps.
it. I
if
don't know.
you
Maybe we should create something called like a run walk challenge.
No, please, no.
viewers, if you noticed me absent from the week that they cover physical wellness, just please know I'll be sick that week.
So is it 7? So are we doing it because our episode tonight is it's like Wednesday. So we're doing Wednesday to Wednesday? Or are we
Yeah,
doing
well, you know
30 days?
what? I think the minimum, right, viewers, I think you should do a minimum of 7
Okay.
days.
Okay.
If you find that this is working for you, because like I said, journaling is not my thing. I don't care for it, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. I'm gonna put it back into practice. Then keep up with it, right? Do it for the next week, right? You get to week 2, you find it really working for you, push it to week 3, push it to week
Mhm.
4. And
Mhm.
before you know it, it's a habit and you can't stop. And look at you training your mind.
There you go.
Yes. Yes. I love it.
So don't put the pressure on yourself to commit to it for 4 weeks if you truly think that it's not working for you.
Mm.
Absolutely. I feel like we'll reassess in a week because we're all gonna do it. Like I'm gonna attempt to do it again because I've tried multiple times to do this. I'm gonna try to squeeze it in the morning. Um, so don't be over ambitious with it. Start small, whether it's like you want to start with a quote, you want to start with a Bible verse,
Mhm.
whatever you vibe with, just kind of like just do it. Just do, that's all you got to do is just like, commit to it and just do it for 2 seconds.
Print out a picture like for online or like on your if you have an iPad that you're using, or if you're using GoodNotes, or if you're using the Notes app, like you can take a picture from Google like images, and then like I draw lines, right? So if it's a picture of like say a heart, and I put it in there, I'm like, oh, I love Shawnee and I love Amanda and I love, just like you
Make
just
it fun.
you're right. That's journaling right there. So I like the picture aspect of it too, because it makes it fun for me.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, I never thought of that. I never thought
Yeah,
of
it's
like,
like visual. I
Yes,
like
very visual for me. Like, so I think of anything, like if I want to go away on vacation, Shawnee, you might like this. You love to travel. So like you put Thailand, take a nice, really pretty picture of Thailand with the girl on the swing, because you're going to be in that swing that day. You're like, oh, I just wish I was there right now. And then you put the date and you put the time and you put like, oh, just great stuff.
so manifesting that life for myself pretty soon.
so I mean, all of the stuff we're talking about is really good, right? But what about when your mindset, and because of the things you've experienced in life, your mind is nowhere near like journaling? Why would I want to journal? Like, lady, I'm trying to put food on the table. Like, that's what like people are thinking. Like, how do I, and back to Shawnee's point too, and originally, like, how do we prioritize this? And how do we get to a place where we want to even train our mind, or we think that's even possible? Because even that concept can be very foreign to some of us when we've endured a lot, we've grown up in a different type of environment. How do we do that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people out there are on survival mode, right? They're struggling. Life has hit them hard. Life is continuing to hit them hard. They feel like they can't catch a break. I really, I think to those people out there that really just feel like I can't journal, right? I just don't have the time. I'm trying to
Mhm.
put food on the table, like you said. I really like Kenise was giving me a pep talk. This is us giving you a pep talk. You really have to put yourself first, and you have to really pour into yourself, because you can't do for others what you can't do for yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? And if you keep going
That's
at
it.
this rate, if you keep going at this rate where you can't pause, right? We're not saying that you have to take the whole night and journal your life away. That's not what we're saying. If you can take 5 minutes out of the 24 hours that we have in a day and really just journal whatever you don't even have to journal, use words. If you want to draw, if that's more your vibe, go
Mhm.
ahead, do that. Make it your own. There's no rules when it comes to,
No.
journaling or finding what works best for you. But you
Mhm.
cannot continue to not put yourself first.
Mhm.
You're doing a disservice to yourself. I
Mhm.
think
Mhm.
once you realize that you are disservicing yourself by not dedicating at least 5 minutes of the day to your mental health,
Right.
to your mental well-being, then we have a problem, right? I think we
For
can all
sure.
stop for at least 5 minutes. And then slowly, as 5 minutes becomes a piece of cake for you, you increase it a little bit more, right? Do 10 minutes,
Mhm.
do 15 minutes,
Mhm.
do 20 minutes. And before you know it, it really does make an impact. It really, for that time that I was doing my gratitudes in the morning and the evenings, I felt so much lighter.
Mm.
And I think just making sure, even if you fall off a day, right, or fall off a few days, just make sure you pick yourself back up and you
Mhm.
keep being consistent. So that's
Mhm.
my piece of advice for you guys.
I agree. I agree with Shawnee.
Yeah, I think life will always throw you some sort of curveball, and I feel like there's lots of things we've all gone through, and I feel like if there's the way I look at life now is like there's two ways you can look at it. There's the way where I can keep beating myself up about that past mistake. I can keep dwelling on the things that I never got, the things I wish that had worked out. I can be in that space and I can continue to drain myself like life's not draining enough, or I could do the opposite. And I'll tell you this, for the last 7 years, I've been prioritizing the other side. I used to beat myself up a lot about things, and I still do at times, but when I physically feel myself doing it, I was like,
Mhm.
okay. And there are times where I do it, and if there's people around me and they'll know something's going on in there, you just look very different. And I'll be like, wow, okay, it's happening. I just be quiet. I center myself and I start thinking, okay, am I even making sense of what's stressing me out, or what am I, dwelling on? Because sometimes we tell ourselves this narrative that's really much worse than the actual reality of it.
Mhm.
And I just feel like you have that choice. Do I want to continue beating myself up, or do I want to make a difference in my life? And do I want to, do something that's going to make me stronger and better for the future thing I will have to handle? And I'll tell you
Mm.
this, the other side is a lot better. I'm not looking back.
Yeah, go Amanda. You're
That's right.
only a victim if you make yourself the victim.
That's right.
It's true.
That's right.
It's true.
That's
That's right.
it. You're only a victim if you make yourself the victim. And that applies to any hardships that you go through in life.
Mm-hmm. And as we were preparing for this series and this first episode here for April, I was thinking about what we have talked about in our past episodes, like getting ourselves ready for a relationship and dating over 30. But if you're not mentally where you need to be for yourself, nobody's going to do it for you. So getting into a relationship, with trying to find a partner, trying to find like a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, it's just going to make it worse if you're not in a good place mentally.
It stems from here, guys. So it's up to you.
And we want to hear like what you guys do as well. Like, what do you guys do for your kind of like training your mind? So you want to write us, you want to like send us like a few things, and maybe we could use some of your tips. Maybe we could use one of your challenges on the show as well.
Let's exchange tips. Drop them in the comments.
Yes, please. We hope you guys are enjoying the show. Let us know how we're like doing, and let us know some topics that you guys want to hear as well. We have a slew of topics, but we obviously want to do some topics that you guys are interested and want to hear our point of view, because even though we're off the record here at OTR, we definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Amanda, this was a really good, overall like suggestion, thought process about your training your mind. I really liked it.
Oh, thank you. I think it's something that we all can benefit from. So I hope you guys try it, share your tips with us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.